Hello everybody, welcome back to my cozy corner. I'm really tucked up today because it's really wild out there. It's kind of wild and wet and windy, so I'm just snuggling up in here. I'm surrounded by my piles of detritus because I haven't done any tidying up. I think that might be my next task before I start anything new. I do enjoy tidying, I don't know about you. I really enjoy creating some order in the space. It's always quite nice to do. And I get a chance to look at some of my stuff, which is quite nice as well, and appreciate it. So, and talking of appreciation, I just wanted to thank you from my heart. Ooh, clunk, clunk. And talking of appreciation, I just wanted to thank you so much from my heart. I had the most beautiful comments last week. I don't get hundreds of comments, which I actually really rather like, because I can just take my time and really enjoy and appreciate what people say, because you leave me such lovely, discerning, thoughtful comments, and I just really feel like you're in the room with me. It's just beautiful, and I'm so grateful, especially to those of you who've been with me for the 5 years that I've been on here. It's incredible. You know, starting out not knowing what on earth I was doing, and I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I've got a sort of a bit more of a handle on it. And I just love doing it. Here am I, 5 years on. I finally found a career, if you want to call it a career, that I absolutely love. This is the longest time I've been in one sort of occupation, if you like. I think being an artist, it's not an occupation really, it's just a thing you do, isn't it? It's just something inside you. But all my other jobs in the past have been like, I think the most I've ever done is about 2 years in something. Partly because of the nature of what I was doing, partly just because I just had what I called a portfolio career, which is my justification for not staying around too long, because I wanted to move on and do other things, or other opportunities came up, or because, as I say, I was doing sort of researchy type jobs, and often they're kind of short term anyway. And I just sort of changed around, and here I am doing something which finally really fits me. I think that's partly why I chopped and changed, was I was trying to find me. I was trying to find what fitted me. And I did a lot of things which were incredibly valuable in terms of experience. You know, being a nurse and doing sort of scientific things and sort of researchy things, more people research, sort of health service, people-based research type things, was incredibly valuable. I met some wonderful people, and it was the people that always inspired me. In the nursing, I wasn't interested in the hierarchy or making it this, you know, career. It was the people that I met, both the colleagues that I worked with, and I wasn't a nurse for very long. I was only qualified, and I did a year as a staff nurse. But I never forget that, and it also gave me a great view on life, that if it's not life or death, it's not really that important, really. So anyway, I was just appreciating who you are, all of you. I mean, I haven't met you in person, but I feel as though we've got a real connection here. And somebody was saying about community, the importance of community, and it's something I'm sure we all very much believe in. And I hadn't really thought about it, but we've built like an online community here, and that's as valuable, really, in many ways, as actually an in-person community. You know, we can't all meet up every week in one space physically, but we do it sort of through our focus. We give our attention to what's going on here. All my little chats and my stuff that I show you, there's a focus there that brings us together, isn't there? And a shared purpose and a shared interest and shared joy in being creative, and whatever that might mean to you. You know, I think there's no limitations on being creative. And I think it's very much about your heart. It's about following your heart, following your joy, and it brings me great joy to have you here. It, you know, fills my heart with love that I'm sharing these stuff with you, and it's given me this real purpose in life. So, thank you, is what I'm saying. And if you've just joined us here, this is the sort of thing I do each week. I just kind of have a chat because things just pop into my head and I go, oh, that's what I'll talk about. I always ask the question, what am I going to talk about today? And it's a bit like, what are we going to do today? Because I have absolutely no idea. I've so enjoyed doing the drawing, and I'm really excited about what's going to come next, because I feel as though I've gone bigger. I've kind of expanded in myself. Whether my work's going to be bigger, I don't know, but I've kind of stepped over this sort of barrier, this fear barrier that said, oh no, you shouldn't draw big. So I'm going to stop there and I'm going to sit at my table and just have a little cogitate, and sending you much love, and I will speak to you very soon from my table or wherever I'm going to be about what we're going to do next. So I'm sitting here at my table and I've got my artwork that I did over the last week or so. This was the culmination last week, as those of you who watched it will know. I went big, I went A3, it was very exciting, and I was very tempted actually to get my really big pad out and really do something even bigger, and who knows, that may yet come. But I was just feeling like somebody was saying, a couple of you said something about seeing where this might take me with the textiles. And I thought, well, actually, you know what, I feel like that would be really nice. It's not a theme, it's just actually taking some drawings, working with what I've created here, and seeing how this might translate into some textiles, which will be really quite fun, I think. So I'm not quite sure yet which one I'm going to do. I've got these lovely circly one here, which is really quite nice. That could be quite fun. You know, I like them all, but I'm not quite sure. I'm kind of, I don't know what you think, what would you work with? I'm kind of thinking probably I might go with the lichen-y one. I feel as though that's got some interesting shapes and marks and potential. So, but I don't know how I'm going to work with it yet. I don't know whether it's going to be a flat piece or a textured piece. I mean, you could be even thinking something 3D, couldn't you? So I'm thinking actually I'm going to have another little sit and another little cogitate, and in fact I might just go and have my lunch, to be honest. It's that sort of time. Go and have a big bowl of soup and just see where this is going to take us. It's quite interesting, all the possibilities. So many possibilities, aren't there? And there's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's just the way that you do it, isn't there? And I think the whole thing is, it's about exploring a bit, maybe experimenting a bit, and just, you know, seeing what comes out. Let's see. Okay, so I'm actually sitting on my floor. I've spread out all my pictures on the floor so I can see them all in one go, because I really wasn't feeling like I knew which direction to go in. And that's a very common thing, isn't it, when you're trying to create something. I actually got to a place where I was feeling fear and feeling fearful, and it's you know, it's like, where's the danger here, guys? But there's a fear, isn't there, that comes up that says, oh, you shouldn't even try this, you know, you'll make a mess of it, it'll just be a total disaster, and what if you just mess it all up? So I just kind of sat with that, and I had a piece of chocolate, and I put some music on, and I you know, I did a bit of dancing, anything that distracts you. But also I acknowledged the fear. I said, hello fear, thank you for showing up, you know, thank you for trying to protect me, if that's what you're trying to do. Thank you, trying to protect me from failure perhaps. So, and now the fear's gone, and I've been able to tune into my intuition and my artisticness, if you like, whatever it is you call it, that little thing inside you that just starts you creating. And this is why so often I will start with a box of fabrics, because there's no thinking about it. Once you get into your thinking bit, there's nothing wrong with thinking, but sometimes it's not very helpful, is it? So the other thing that helps, which I'll show you, which I've shown you recently, the Art of Knitting book, which a very good friend gave to me. Actually, my boss at work very kindly said, would you like this book? And I said, oh gosh, yes, I would. And it's fantastic, and it's full of, what I realised was, when I was just flicking through to try and get some inspiration, just to take me off the subject matter of what am I going to do, and I looked through here and I just thought, oh, look at these textures, look at this tactility, and how close up they are, some of the photographs. But also what I really liked was, it's like a patchwork, the way they photographed it. So you got big pieces and different sized pieces, all kind of making up one image, if you like. And I thought, well, what I'm looking at here with my drawings is kind of details, tiny details, but I've expanded them and made them bigger. And this is kind of feeding my soul here now. I'm looking at this and going, yes, I can work with this. And again, the important thing really is just to get started. So that's what I'm going to do. It's kind of moved me on. It's moved me out of the fear. I'm feeling into what I think I want to do. I'm not planning it. I'm not thinking, oh, it's got to be this, it's got to be that, and it needs to be this size. But what I've done is I've got my little viewfinder thingy, you know, it's just a mount. And I do use this quite a bit. If you've been here for a while, you'll know. And what I started doing was just doing this. And this is a very classic kind of design technique. If you go and do a design course or something, you'll learn to do this kind of thing, where you're sort of abstracting again, and you're focusing in on a detail, and you're seeing all the splodges and all the lovely details, and you can start to think, ooh, how would that work? I suppose it's a kind of compositional aid, if you like, but I don't want to work and say, oh, I'm absolutely going to work from that section there. Again, I am just trying to move into the feeling of it, you know, and this is taking me out of the fear, because I'm thinking, ooh, I love that and I love that. So I'm going to just cut some fabric, and I think I'm going to make like a big background, just one same background, and then I will cut it up. Maybe I'll cut it into pieces and I'll work with the pieces, or perhaps, I don't know yet, I might make one big one and cut that into pieces. I don't know. I'm just going to see. Possibilities are endless, as you know, and the important thing is I'm going to start, because that takes me into the flow, out of the fear and into the flow. So let's get some fabric cut and we'll see where that's going to take us. So what I've got here is my very favourite, those of you who've been around here for a little while, possibly not as long as 5 years, who knows. This is cotton curtain interlining fabric, and I've used this for many years, since I was doing quilting, oh, donkey's years ago, because it was cheap. It was a way of doing quilting that didn't need a great deal of expense, and as I was just really doing wall hangings, it's ideal for wall hangings and stuff like that. So I use this a lot as a background fabric, and I'm just going to simply cut some up, and we're going to, you know, make some kind of background. I've no idea how I'm going to make that background yet, but we will see. So let's cut some of this fabric up. So I'm just cutting to whatever size I think it should be. That's how big. Sort of that sort of size. As I say, I'm just going to make this into a background. So it's going to be what it's going to be. Let's see, where shall I cut up to? It's a bit wonky, but I don't think that matters. Across there. Let's just cut it across there. I can always cut more, but I can't cut less. Can I? I don't know. Is that a possibility? Can you cut less? I suppose you can. And we'll just perhaps trim it up a little bit at this side. As I say, this is just going to make a background, and I will do perhaps some, I don't know if I'm going to do some embellishing or exactly what I'm going to do, but we will find that out next week. So that's my piece of fabric cut. It's just a random size, and I'm going to choose some fabrics next to put across the surface, and we'll turn it into some kind of a background, but I don't know what that's going to be yet. So please join me next week in my little creative corner, and we will see what's going to happen next. I hope you have a peaceful week and a creative week, and I wish you much fun and laughter in that week. And I'll say bye for now. Thank you for joining me here.
Ba ba da ba da ba da ba ba.